Hey, what's up, YouTube? Hey, man, this is actually my second time filming this video. The first time it came out good, but it just ain't me. I can't sit back and lie to you guys. It bothers the shit out of me. So I'm going to redo this right now, real time. I'm not going to play games with it. I realized in the first video that I was trying to navigate around the haters. I was trying to navigate around the people that are going to come for me in the comment section. And, y'all know my motto, fuck them, right? So without further ado, let's get into it, man. What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Six Figure Morning Show, where we give you the best advice in business and life. Told you guys the other day we were going to start this week off with credit. I don't know if I can run the whole week on credit score. It's not really my thing. I teach it in such a manner that a lot of people won't relate to it or they won't understand what I'm saying, and I don't want to confuse the masses. I'm talking right now for the United States. If you are out of country, if you're German credit, the Schufa, 0 to 100, Canadian credit, it's very similar to U.S. credit under the FICO score, 300 to 900. The African credit rating or Africa credit rating, 0 to 1,000. Still TransUnion, which surprised me. Still TransUnion and Experian with a few other raters. South America, especially Brazil, which is very similar to the U.S. FICO, 0 to 1,000. Wherever you're at, leave it in the comments below. I'm definitely interested in learning what your guys' credit system is in the area you live in. Something that interests me right now, since we're on this topic, and the more research I do about international credit, it's very interesting to me. I like it. So please comment below where you're from and what credit systems you guys use. Any information you're willing to give me. You don't have to give me your personal, but anything you're willing to give me. Now, for U.S. and anybody that kind of follows any country that follows the FICO system, or very similar to the United States, I need you to understand that your credit score is an imaginary number issued to you by the banking system. It is an imaginary number issued to you by the banking system. That's what it is. It is an imaginary number attached to your social security number given to you by the banking institution at 18 years old to see how likely you are to repay a debt. That's my definition of it. It's an imaginary number to see how likely you are to repay a debt. I do not operate. I understand credit. I understand how to use credit. I understand what credit is. I want to Google what the definition of it actually is right now for you guys. Where are we at? Where are we at? Let me see. Bam, here we go, here we go, here we go. A number assigned to a person that indicates to lenders their capacity to repay a loan. I just told you that your credit score is an imaginary number given to you by the banking institution to see how likely you are to repay a debt or repay a loan. The dictionary says a credit score is a number assigned to a person that indicates to lenders their capacity to repay a loan. All right. Your credit score is given to you at 18 years old. You do not, this is not mandatory. You do not have to take it. You can live cash heavy your entire life. You can run on a cash heavy system your entire life. You never have, credit is only for when you want to borrow money. If you never want to operate in the system of the financial institutions like that, you do not have to borrow money, ever. You can stack cash, flip cash, keep moving in that manner without ever borrowing money. It's very similar to what Dave Ramsey preaches. If you start that at 18 years old, you're already way ahead of the game, because Dave Ramsey's whole process is for you to snowball effect your debt. It's for you to save $1,000, tackle your debt in a snowball effect manner, and then stack up your 3 to 6 months emergency fund and so on, so on, and so on. And then never borrow money again. So if you just avoid that altogether in the beginning at 18 years old, never borrowing money and just stacking cash and moving forward in that manner, you're already ahead of the game. Cash heavy. Cash Heavy and financial peace, they go almost hand in hand. He teaches it from a biblical standpoint. I teach it from a street view. Okay? But they still come out almost to the same outcome in a sense. But the reason that I was having issues with it earlier trying to teach this to you guys was because I was literally operating around the haters. The people that were going to say, you can't do this and you can't do that. And all, I was like mentally, I was operating around that BS because I know who's coming. I know what they're going to say. And I mean, so it mentally kind of messes you up. It messes up your videos and they like that. So I had to come back and redo this and I had to go ahead and give you the RCE method. All right. Credit is trash. Plain and simple. If you don't know how to leverage debt, you don't need to be borrowing money. That's just it. If you don't know what to do with debt, you do not need to be out there borrowing freaking money because then you're just spinning your wheels. Then you're just spinning your freaking wheels, man. You're taking your hard-earned money that you work for to pay back on a loan of something that you may not even own anymore. I've dealt with people that are paying back on cars they no longer have. They're paying back on credit cards or furniture they no longer own. Credit cards they no longer have. They're paying back on crap that's so old. You know what I'm saying? So if you just stay out of that, you don't have to pay back on this crap. You only want to borrow money and use your credit for things that are leveraging debt, for things that are going to bring you income. We want income. We want money coming in, not going out. We want money coming into us. Cash flow, the Grant Cardone shit, cash flow. We want money coming in. Cash Heavy is all about money coming in. It's about you taking 3 to 5 years of your life, digging deep, stacking cash, real discipline, stacking cash, and then turning that cash into more cash, flipping houses, flipping trailers, flipping cars. If you need to leverage, by that time, you've probably learned the credit system. You've probably learned how to leverage debt. I tell people all the time, your first investment needs to be in you. Your second investment needs to be in cash. If you can't understand cash, matter of fact, if you can't understand yourself and your spending habits, your study habits, your discipline, you need to master that first. But if you can't understand cash, you're never going to understand the stock market. You're never going to understand real estate. You're never going to understand these things. Cash is transactional. It's for transactional purposes. I give you cash, you give me something in return. Depending on the item that I'm trying to buy, the more cash that I'm going to need. When you don't have enough cash to buy said item, that's when you go borrow money. You use your credit. Now we'll talk about building your credit in just a second, but when you need to buy a big ticket item, you have to go borrow credit. You have to go borrow on your credit, borrow money. Excuse me. But a lot of people, they go borrow money for couches, for televisions, for what else? What other crap? I don't know, whatever. I haven't borrowed money on BS in a long time. A lot of people will go take out a $3,000 credit card loan, a $2,500 limit or something and max it out and not pay it back. They get because they can't afford the monthly payment on it already. You just used it sporadically. You got the card and you started swiping it, buying up shit. Now you can't pay it back. Your credit's jacked up. It takes you 6 months to build your credit. It takes 6 months to build your credit, at least to get it started. So let's just say you're 18 years old with absolutely no credit and you want to build it. It's going to take you 6 months. The best way for you to build it, the safest way for you to build it is to take out a secured loan from your bank. You take out a secured loan. A secured loan is saying that I go to the bank with $1,000. I want to build my credit, right? I walk into the bank with $1,000. I give them the my 1,000. They give me back another 1,000 like a loan, but it's secured because if I don't make the payments, they already have their money right there. They're basically saying, or you're showing them that you will show up every month and make that payment. I hope that makes sense. I know that's kind of confusing to some people. A secured loan, look it up. Secured loan, secured credit card. A secured credit card. If I want a secured credit card, that is going to be, say I take another $1,000 and I buy a secured credit card. That's going to be my $1,000 on the card. Okay? So basically I'm 1,000 positive with the credit company. For those from the street, I'm 1,000 positive with the weed man. I'm 1,000 positive at the bar. I have $1,000 limit on a bar tab that I've already paid. So I can go You get what I'm saying? We there. I'm trying to make sense of this for those that it confuses. But I walk into the bank, I give them $1,000. They give me $1,000 back. Tit for tat, even trade, my 1,000 for their 1,000. And then I'm supposed to show up for the next 5 months, 6 months and make a $200 payment or a $180 payment or whatever it is to pay that 1,000 back off. Every month I show up and make this $100 whatever payment every month. And that's going to show consistency. It's going to show discipline that, hey, this person can show up on time for 6 months and make this payment back. Same with a secured credit card. I give them 1,000. They give me 1,000 back on a card. I max that card out for $1,000, and then I show up for the next 5 or 6 months and pay back that $1,000 monthly, showing the consistency and discipline to the company and to the credit rating bureau that I am able to constantly, consistently pay back this money. I hope that makes sense to you guys. If I need to break it down another way, leave it in the comments below. I hope that makes sense, but that is what a secured card is. It's secured. It's secured with your money, your financial backing. It is secured. The 3 major credit reporting companies are Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. You can Google any of those. Most people, credit scores in the United States start from 300 to 850. Most people usually, I don't remember at 18 years old, guys, leave in the comments below. At 18 years old, what do you start out with? Like a 500? They give you that grace of like a 500. So 300 being the worst, 850 being the best. The information I'm about to read comes from the USA.gov website, and it also comes from Investopedia.com, 2 credible websites. But 18 to 29-year-olds, their credit score is a 680. Roughly. 30 to 39 is a 692. 40 to 49 is a 700. 50 to 59 is a 724. 60 and above is a 753. I think all of that is garbage. I think all of that is misinformation. I don't agree with it because, okay, I'm over a 700. Okay, so I'm 40 years old at a 745. Right? I'm in my 40s at a 745. And then we also have, I deal with people all day long that are 680s, I deal with people that are like 22, 23 years old with 680s and 700s all the time. So I don't agree with that. That's why I can't get behind this information that I'm reading. That's why I had to redo this video, because it's just garbage. It's a way for you to keep spinning your wheels. You need to stay out of the credit system if you are lucky enough until you get cash heavy. You need to get the cash backing. You need that. You need to stay out of the credit system. I feel like his shirt's crooked. Anyways, you need to stay out of the credit system until you understand credit, until you understand cash. I just can't get behind it. I can't get behind the information that they're spitting out to people. It's just, guys, they want you wrapped up in the system. They want you in a constant debt cycle. The only people that win from this system are banks and credit card companies. That's it. Your payment history is 35% of your credit score. Your payment history is 35% of your credit score. The amount that you owe is 30% of your credit score. The length of credit history is 15%. Listen to what's coming out of my mouth. The length of credit history is 15%. And your types of credit are 10%. I'm going to read that one more time to you guys. Your payment history is 35%. Amounts owed is 30%. That's 65% of your credit score is within payment history and how much you owe. How many payments have you made on time and how much money do you owe? The length of credit history is 15%. The types of credit is 10%. Now let me explain this to you. Length of credit history is 15%. You could do everything right in your life for 10, 15, 20 years. And as soon as something happens and you make a mistake, your score will drop drastically like you never did anything. Do you understand? That's why I tell people don't play this stupid ass game. You can do everything in your life correct for a decade, 2 decades. And the minute you hurt yourself at work, the minute you get some form of medical scare, whatever, and your credit, you can't make the payment on your credit card or on your vehicle, dude, they're going to act like you've never done anything. Ladies and gentlemen, they will act like you've never done anything right. It's disgusting. It's a shitty, flawed system that I do not recommend people play in. I pay cash for cars. I live well below my means. I stack and save more. I save over half my income. I live well below my means. And you should too. You need to get cash heavy. The whole point of cash heavy, I hope I explained that well enough. If you guys need me to dive a little deeper into that, leave it in the comments below. But the whole point of cash heavy, remember, picture it like integers. What is that, 6th grade, 7th grade math? You start at 0. You got negatives and positives. If you're in debt, you need to go back negative, option A. You need to go back negative to get back to 0, just to move forward into positive. Cash heavy, I tell people, you need to, at 0, you need to go ahead and say, forget the debt, and you need to move forward positive. You need to move forward positive. And the reason you move forward positive and stacking cash, you keep your job, you keep your monthly, yearly income coming in, you keep your day job, you save as much as you possibly can for a year or 2 years, you stack freaking cash. I still got my day job, and now I'm flipping houses, I'm flipping cars, I'm flipping trailers, I'm making this money over here work for me. Okay? This money is working for me. I'm going to circle back around. Once I say I save up $30,000 in the positive, I still have the debt back here, but I've moved forward into the positive and I got $30,000 saved. I'm going to start flipping cars. I'm going to start flipping trailers. I might partner up with somebody and flip houses or something if I have to. I don't recommend partnerships, but it is what it is. You handle that accordingly. You handle that to you. This is where I would pop in a one-on-one coaching. If you need me to one-on-one coach you with business ideas, things of that nature, feel free to reach out. But I'm moving forward with 30,000 cash. Once I double that, once I turn that 30,000 into 50 or 60, then I can circle back around and I can start cleaning up the debt. I keep my day job. I got cash flipping working for me over here, and I circle back around and clean up my debt by year 2 or 3, depending on how hard you work at it. You know, it's talking to the masses here. That's cash heavy. I'm at 0. I don't want to go back for a year or 2 years to pay off debt just to get back to 0. I want to be at 0, and I want to go ahead and move forward into the positive for a year or 2 years of stacking cash. Then I circle back around and I clean up the debt. You're going to have to clean up the debt. It's impossible. You're going to have to do it. There's no way for you to move forward with a healthy adult life with debt hanging over you. I have family members that will not and did not circle back around to clean up the debt. And now they're just sitting around. They didn't do the cash heavy, because that's not cash heavy at all. Cash heavy in the cash heavy process. To you goober smoochers that do not pay attention. In the cash heavy process, you circle back around and clean up your debt. But debt can wait. I have to get mine first. If not, then I'm in a cycle of debt, 0. Oh, I need money. Debt, 0. Oh, I need money. And it's never ending. Never ending. Guys, if you don't understand cash, you do not need to play with credit. This information, I printed off this whole freaking packet right here off of Investopedia.com. Yes, it's legit. Yes, it's good information. Yes, it has everything that you're going to need. But it's garbage if you're trying to get wealthy. Debt, credit, negative credit, things of that nature, taking out anything that's not income producing. Guys, it's going to keep you it's going to keep you poor. Credit is for poor people. The credit score is, do you think Tom Cruise, Denzel Washington, Oprah Winfrey, The Rock, do you think Donald Trump, you think those people have a freaking credit score? I mean, they might. Do you think they use it? Hell no. They're leveraging their real estate. They're leveraging their cash. They're leveraging all these other things. Sure, they probably got a number somewhere in a file. Dave Ramsey has a credit score somewhere. He says he doesn't, but he's got a number somewhere in a freaking file. Sure. But realistically, those people are not operating on credit. They're so cash heavy that they're moving without credit. That's why I want you to get cash heavy. You're building the foundation. You're building a freaking foundation for your future. Cash heavy is very sustainable, and it is very real. There's always some twat in the comments that's going to say something stupid. Ignore it, guys. I've done this. I've lived this process. I would tell my sons to do it. I'm not telling you to do anything that I have not done in my real life. Promise. I would tell my sons to get cash heavy. When they turn 18, they need to be cash heavy. I'm going to teach them how to build their credit, how to grow their credit. But when they turn freaking 18 years old, I want to see my sons at 16 getting cash heavy. I want them to start like 16 to 21, stacking cash. Stacking cash. They're not ate up with child support. They're not ate up with negative debt. They don't have any form of litigation coming against them. I want them to stack cash. Stack cash. They can throw it in a CD. They can store it wherever the hell they want to store it. But I want them stacking cash in the beginning and learning everything else. But to most of you older people, you're already in debt. You're already 40 years old in debt. You're already this, that, in debt. I want you to stop. Depending on your life, I don't know each and every one of you. Call me for a one-on-one coaching. I don't know your life, but I want you to stop. I want you to take accountability of what you have and what you have to pay. Of course, you want to pay your rent. Of course, you want to pay your lights, water, gas, things of that nature. But you're going to want to move forward into positivity. You're going to want to stack cash. That's another thing. That's another myth that people talk about. So like I just told you guys, you can do everything right. And once you do something wrong, then it's going to run your credit. Just how it is. You can do everything right for a decade. And once you make a mistake, your credit's ruined. People also are under the misinformation that your lights, water, gas build your credit. Well, the hell it doesn't. No, I don't even know if it, I mean, they say it does. I've never seen it. But as soon as you don't pay, it's on your credit. I've never seen it affect my credit in a positive manner. But as soon as I don't pay, it affects it in a negative. You understand that? There's a lot of things. Taking out a payday loan will not build your credit. Taking out something from Rent-A-Center or Aaron's Furniture or wherever you're at will not build your credit. They say it does. But once you don't pay, it's a negative. But I've never seen it build. Only thing I know that will build your credit are car loans, credit cards, bank loans, secured loans, things of mortgage, things of that nature, real estate loans, things of that nature. You go to some rinky-dink payday loan place thinking you're going to build your credit, and that's foolish. But once you don't pay them, it will ruin your credit. It will be a negative blemish on your credit, but it will not be a positive. Nobody's looking at it. Bank lenders don't care that you went to some mom and pop loan place and got some money out. They don't care. They don't want to see the shit. They need it to come from an accredited institution. Your credit score, let me see, is anything that I missed? Because I just covered a lot really freaking fast. Other than that, man, honestly, your credit score is just an imaginary number that lets the banking institution, lets the lender know how likely you are to repay a debt. That's what it is. I operate cash heavy. Ideally, you want income, cash, credit. That's ideally what you want. Income, cash, credit. Once you can get all three of these, let's say you've been at the job $50,000, $65,000 a year. You've been there for 3 to 5 years. You have verifiable, solid income now. Reputation, discipline. You have this. Cash. I've been stacking cash. So I have income coming in. I have a foundation. I have of cash net worth. And then I have credit. I build my credit by discipline, by showing up and repaying back these loans. I only have one credit card. I have one credit card. I use it every month on all my bills, and then I repay it back with my cash. That's how I keep my credit intact. That's how I keep my credit good, off of one credit card. Other than that, guys, I'm going to leave it there. If you got anything else you want me to cover, leave it in the comments below. Make sure you smash that freaking like button if you got any value out of this video. But yeah, if there's anything else you want me to cover, cash is for transactional. Guys, cash is transactional to buy a product, okay? Don't overthink this process, but if you're going deep into credit, deep into debt, it's going to keep you spinning your wheels. You're never going to be able to stack enough cash to move forward because you're always going to be living in a debt cycle. You got to break that cycle. You got to step forward from zero and move into positivity. I hope I'm making sense. If you guys need anything, feel free. You want me to cover this in a different manner, leave it in the comments below. Other than that, have a great freaking day. Holler at you guys in the morning.